do what I want. Been on the table, it ball in the corner. Just bought the beamer, falling on the corner. All this money got it on the corner. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. Been on the table, it ball in the corner. Just bought the beamer, falling on the corner. All this money got it on the corner. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm at the spot and no working, no stopping. For talking, who counting? You bought this spot. Don't have to cock it, I'm put at the pocket. My camera sees watching, I'm put in the socket. My carpet tells her, fuck it, the mic. New wipe out to get in that motherfucker stride. Rock out her eyes and my bitches is out. I'm catching my jewel, nigga meet me on got it. Bring me the scissors, the scissors, the scissors. I look like a dealer, on me, it would kill her. I'm through this shit, it ain't enemy, nigga. I go through 100 blueberries, he can cook her. I got the recipe, I know the specialty. Shape off an extra 3, I got an recipe. Chopper, he's next to me, no think of testing me. Interview recipe, fuck off the jealousy. Loaded, put it, pro charge, put it. Wanna show, book it, wanna hold it, cook it. Run up on your man, boy, you know we took it. He was looking cookie, boy, that nigga was 100 grand, nigga steady. Bitch, you cop a big daddy. Back road, got it on. Nigga full-time trap. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. Been on the table, it ball in the corner. Just bought the beamer, falling on the corner. All this money got it on the counter. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. Been on the table, it ball in the corner. Just bought the beamer, falling on the corner. All this money got it on the counter. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. You niggas gon' rappers, you niggas gon' after my bank like now my road line back. But sit out the rapper, you know I'm a tasher, you know I'm a cowboy, you know I'm a trapper, you know I'm a get it, you know I'm a spin it, you know I read up and I don't have a limit. If you want to now, nigga, meet me at Winners. If you want to now, nigga, meet me at Winners. How many you want? How many you buy? Bitch, I'm water whipping, and the bitch dry. All these bitches mine, they can be yours. If you can't afford, put them in your home court. I want the big, let my bitch want the miles, my bitch want the ride, and my bitch want the outing. I took a trip out the mountain, smoking this shit, got a cloud. In the club, fucking up thousands. Hit the gas once and I'm out. Bitch, I'm a driver, you niggas some rappers, you pussy don't know nothing about it. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. Been on the table, it ball in the corner. Just bought the beamer, falling on the corner. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want. I'm a real trapper, I do what I want.
What's up?
What's up, girl?
What's going on, fam?
What's happening with you?
Hey, I'm just trying to make it through, bro. You know what
Man,
I mean?
I'm glad I called to check on you, man.
Yeah, man. You know, I got to do what I got to do for the fam. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, always,
You know
man.
what I mean? You know what? I thought about it. I think that's probably something we should talk about, man. I mean, it's definitely a hot topic right now. But I think, you know, we should just, you know, maybe spend a couple of minutes just to talk about it. I mean, you know, they made it to a political topic, but, you know, I don't think it's too political for us not to, you know, spend a couple of minutes on it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Whatever you want,
maybe
man.
next week.
Yeah. Everybody got an opinion about it.
Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. Hey, man. Hey, I'm just glad you doing good, man.
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I should be feeling a whole lot better tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
How's your boys doing?
They doing good, man. Got a playoff game tonight.
Oh, tonight?
Yeah, when I get out of here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ain't got far to go. I got 5 minutes down the road to go.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, we might not use the whole 45 because, you know, we got to put the family first. That comes before everything, man.
Oh, yeah, but I ain't tripping, though. I ain't tripping. You know what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, it's 5 after. Hey, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Another episode of The Preacher versus the Gangster. You know, we got a continual topic. You know, we're going to talk about this evening. We're going to talk about mentoring and cooning. Cooning. You say coon, but I gotta be.
Hey, man, we got to tell it how it is, man. We got to tell it how it is. I understand it's a cruel world, as a cruel word and all, but we got to tell it how it is because a lot of older folks and a lot of older guys, think they telling young cats something when for real, it be a young world out here. You know what I'm saying? Like you really some like a lot of old cats just need to get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like if you trying to help and contribute and be a part of it, it's cool. But if you in the way and you think you know what's going on, most of the time you really don't know what's going on, man.
All right. So we're gonna hop into it. Well, again, I just want to say thank you everybody for joining us and supporting us up to this point. As we continue to go further, we're gonna have deeper conversations, harder topics. Always your feedback is always wanted. You can either join in the conversation tonight or go to our YouTube page and send us a message.
What's up, cuz?
Send us a message. Let us know how you feeling, what you thinking. If we off base or on base with the things that we talk about, let us know your feedback. We doing this not only for us, but we doing it for our culture, man. We just trying to blend the two worlds together. I'm the preacher, and many of you guys already know. And if you don't know,
I already know what it is.
He's the gangster. So again, today's topic, we're going to talk about mentoring and cooning. In other words, cooning. By definition, I'll just keep it real short and sweet. I call it a culture trader.
All right. Well, you can call it old head. We can say old head.
But I don't want to necessarily say that because I have some older men that's in my life, and some of the things that we talk about is within the conversation you can tell that there is a
gap.
Age, you know what I mean? But also
a gap. But we not talking about the good old heads. We talking about the old heads. You hear?
Right. I just want to make sure it's clear because when you say old heads, a lot of people are like, what you mean? My father, my grandfather, my uncle.
See, you're an old head. You're an old head if you take it personal. That's how I know you're an old head and you're a coon. You're an old head and coon if you take it personal. You shouldn't take it personal because you should be a cat. You should be a cat that's bigging up the young kids and trying to help the youth. You shouldn't take it personal. You shouldn't take it personal. That's that's you explain exactly my content is on when a person feels like he knows everything and he doesn't listen to the youth. That's what I'm talking about, being an old head and a coon. If you're old head, you listening. You understand it. You knowing what what they're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So again, by definition, the way we defining cooning this evening is someone that is, like I said, a culture trader. You know what I mean? And is someone in a older hemisphere of our age group or older that's not being supportive of what we're trying to do, or even our age, even our peers are not trying to help the next generation move forward. There's always changing. There's always different perspective. There's always different narratives created around a lot of different things. And, I know for a fact it happens not only in the church, but we know it happened outside of the church. So before we
your
get
family.
So before we get into the cooning aspect, which I think that's going to probably take up most of our time, let's just talk about the positive part, the mentoring part.
Yeah.
Which we touched on last week. So let me ask you this question from a mentoring standpoint. Oh, you know what? That question I was going to ask. Let me ask you this different question because you have boys, right? Right. So do I. So when it comes to your boys being mentored, are you the only present mentor that they have in their lives, or or have you opened them up to other people? Because my boys play sports, your boys play sports, so coaching is quote unquote a small segment of time of mentoring, but we understand mentoring is just not once a week or a season, is a duration of time. So again, my question to you, you know, you have boys. That, do you allow them to be mentored by anyone else besides yourself right now?
Yeah, I mean, mostly coaches. Mostly it's like coaches, but it's a few people that they look up to or whatnot. But I would really recommend myself because
Right.
I really, you know what I'm saying, I really know them. So I that's the thing. Like we talking about this situation because I catch myself doing some coonery. You know what I mean? Like I catch myself.
What do you mean?
Cause I catch myself like, man, back in the day, I hate that shit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Because I done heard it my whole life. I done heard it my whole life that
Right.
it pops up, and I'm like,
Right.
oh man, I shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like you man, this ain't the 50s and 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be saying, man, back in the day back in my day, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
they be like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
So, all right. So when you catch yourself saying that, not to get off topic, because I really want to get up to the positive. The coonery is really going. It's really going to be the depth of our conversation. So when you find yourself doing that, how do you give yourself pause, or make time for you to pause and change your language so you don't sound like that old head talking to your boys talking about, you know, when I went to school, you know, we ain't have shoes, we wore trash back
Right. Yo, because I be trying. I try to really put it in real perspective.
Right.
That ain't too much change. If you want to be real facto, you know what I'm saying? Ain't too much change. You know what I'm saying? What? You know, computers, electronics, you know, what, cars and shit. It ain't too much change. You know what I'm saying? You look at a TV the same, you change the channel, you know what I mean? That you still get couches, you still got couches in your house, still got a house, a dog, you know what I'm saying? Ain't too much change. You know what I'm saying? People sold drugs 100 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Like, so what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So let me get back to the whole mentoring thing. And you said that your boys don't have no other mentors besides yourself. Would you ever consider doing well, let me ask you this. Why don't you allow anyone else to mentor your boys right now?
I mean, I allow, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, like coaches, that's probably like the closest because like I spend majority time with my sons, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if you know, if they need anything or they question anything, they can come to me because I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm getting involved in whatever they involved in. So it's just like, you know, I mean, I can quite sure like they can look up to basketball players or entertainers and stuff that they see. But other than that, like I allow it, but I haven't, you know, met nobody that, you know what I'm saying, that's close to them that I can, you know what I mean, do that with.
Okay. Yeah, so I was a little different. When my boys got to, I'd probably say like 11, 12, 13, I allowed them or introduced them to some of my friends that was in my circle for them to kind of mentor them, to talk to them. And the reason being because what I learned as a parent is that sometimes, and you know this, and other parents will testify to this, sometimes when we talk, they kind of go deaf because they hear our voice, or sometimes we repeat the same thing over and over again. It's probably because they keep doing the same dumb thing over and over again. But sometimes they kind of go tone deaf to what we're saying, or you know, when we engage with them and tell them about our upbringing, they think it only happened to us. So I found it very helpful, not only for myself, but also not only that it affirmed what I was telling them and helped me, but it also helped them because they was able to hear a different perspective, or it could have been the same story but just told in a different way. Because especially like when my boys is growing up, I always try to think about when I was a kid right? And
Right.
our upbringing and what we try to prevent them from doing. And and I wasn't like a terrible kid, but I'll just say I was mischievous. I'll
Right.
just say that. So I
All us
always,
was.
yeah, yeah. So so I used a lot of the people that was around me. Like I had two acquaintances that was police officers. So I would kind of when they kind of act kind of foolishness, I would have them kind of talk to them and take a ride with them. I had a couple of friends that was truck drivers and teachers and mechanics and different things like that. So when my boys was growing up and they played sports, they played softball, baseball,
Right,
basketball,
right, right,
football, soccer. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
I try to keep my boys busy, but I felt, or let me say, um, my experience with allowing other people to be a central part in their lives off the field for as development
right.
was helpful in my opinion. I don't think it hurts either way, whether you don't in
Nah.
your case, and in my case it's a little different. I
Right,
don't think it hurts either way. But for me, like I said, as a parent, at the top of this, as a parent, I just I didn't want my voice to be ignored. You know what I mean? Because
right,
any
right, right.
parent will tell you, like, you'll go through this season where your kids really ain't trying to hear what you have to say.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, see, I was kind of see, that's what I'm saying. See, that's why it's the preacher and the gangster. You see what I'm saying? Cause listen, see, if my daddy would have took me to some police back in, like what? I'm not talking to no police. I don't want to know what police doing. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right,
I would have been totally opposite because I learned some things that I probably shouldn't have been knowing at the time. You
right,
know what I'm
right,
saying? Like
right,
I kind of gotta, hear they side first on whatever it is that they feel like they want to do because I still got some of them old values in me. You know what I'm
right.
saying? So
But
I understand the way you coming about it, but you know what I'm saying? Like I have not. It's because it's a little bit of coonery. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to teach my son like certain jobs are bad. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want. If you want to be a police, because I'm at the point now in my age, like yo, if you want to be a police, go be a police. You know what I'm
right,
saying? You know what I'm saying?
right,
But it's none of my business. You know what I'm saying? But if I was a young kid and my pops took me to the police, I wouldn't have been trying to hear it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just be totally honest with you. I'm
right.
glad that
Oh,
your
absolutely.
sons. Huh?
I said
What'd you
absolutely.
say?
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, so your sons are A-OK because they wasn't taught what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? When
Right,
it go into your mental, it's hard to take it out. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
I can see you didn't plug your kids with that. So they wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't.
I ain't want my kids to experience the things that I experienced. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
we both talked about it. Like I think in the first show we talked about you know staying connected to our community, but moving outside of our community, right? Because
Exactly.
I want
Right.
them to be influenced and have those type of experience. So I work
Yeah.
hard for my kids not to engage in some of the things that I engaged in. But the crazy
Right.
thing about it, with all of that, my boys still did things that I didn't approve
Man,
of. I
you
did,
never
so
know.
it's
You
really,
never
to be
know.
honest with you, they get to an age, like you said, whatever you want to do, you go in and do it. So my boys still engaged in things that I try my best to keep them away from it. I was totally honest
Right.
to them with them and about certain
Right.
topics, and they did what they want to do. I mean, but
Right.
I wasn't mad because I know what I instilled in them. I know what
Right.
I allowed them to be around. And if they chose to do something outside of that and other than that, then hey, I mean,
Right.
you're a man. You gotta suffer the consequences behind decisions
And
that
that's
you
the
make.
thing.
Again, not only I want to say this to other parents that that take the approach that we're taking with our kids. Whether you have allowed someone to mentor your kids or not mentor your kids, and you just being that prominent voice in their ear. If you are doing everything you know how to do, and the things that you don't know how to do, you go out and get information or someone to assist you, and your son or daughter still choose to do something outside of what you trained them or taught them to do, please don't blame yourself. Because one thing I
Right.
learned when my kids was you know, specifically my boys, when they turned like 7, a light bulb went off in my head, man. And it was like, these are little people with feelings, with free
Right.
minds
See,
that's going to
that's what
make
I'm saying.
decisions. So I really started to, you know, handle them differently. You know, I started giving my kids respect at an
That's
early
what.
age.
That's the whole
You know
point
what
of this
I'm saying?
conversation. You
Right.
understand what
I
I'm
started
talking
giving them
about?
respect at an early age, not, you know, absolutely looking at them as kids and kids that's
Exactly.
ignorant to things in life, but also, but my respect for them came from how they feel, you know, their opinion about certain situations, because I didn't want them to feel ignored or how they feel didn't matter. And I think a lot of times as parents, that's what we do because we believe we know best. But I think, I believe sometimes we forget that they are
We
little
was
people with
we
feelings, with
we
ideas.
admit that we were kind of taught a little bit wrong. You know what
Oh
I'm
man,
saying? That's all we was taught was you whip the child ass, you tell them what to do, you tell them clean up everything in the whole
right,
house. You can't
right,
go outside and play sometimes, don't
right,
mess up your clothes. You
right.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
started to
yeah.
realize, like, man, what was all that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
like
you
I don't
know
understand to
what?
this day.
I had to, you know, I had to come to a place of reckoning with when it comes to my parents, because you know my situation with my parents, you know, like many other people, was, you know, how can I best say it, interesting. I'll just leave it like that.
Yep.
So so with that being said, sometimes, you know, and oftentimes, well, let me go back. My place of reckoning with my parents, I just came to the conclusion they only did what they knew and what they saw,
I agree.
right?
I agree.
So for me not to repeat some of the same patterns that my parents revealed to me and how I grew up, I, as a parent, went out and got information, right? Even though
Right.
I witnessed some
Right.
things, I experienced some things with my parents, you know, and I know I didn't want my kids to go through what I went through. Unfortunately, some of them, you know, unfortunately, my kids went through maybe a couple of things that they unfortunately had
Right.
to go through. But
Right.
besides the point, I went and got information. I read books, you know, I talked to other parents, you know, I engaged in different seminars so I could be a better parent and be aware of my behavior when it came to my kids. Like, you know,
Right.
for my boys, like I ain't beat none of my kids, but what I did with my boys is I would grab them by the collar and I would pick them up off their feet and I would talk to them nose to nose, right?
Yo, I
Because
would just tell you. I would
there's
tell
a
you.
such thing as a healthy dose of fear when it comes to your kids.
Yeah.
It's a fear of respect, not a fear of abuse, right? So for
Yeah.
me, I want to
Yeah.
make sure my sons knew you cross this line, bro. You see your feet swinging from
Oh
that pole,
yeah. Yeah. You
it's
know what
gonna be a
time it
problem.
is. You know what
You know what I'm
time it
saying?
is.
So I think every parent, when it comes to their kids, should have a good, healthy dose of fear. And if your kids don't fear you
Right.
at all, I mean, they're
Right.
gonna do what they want to do at an
Yeah,
early
that's
age.
true. That's true.
At an early
That
age.
I believe that part. I believe, what I'm saying, that part. But you know, you probably got some. You already got some ass whippings, man. For like you,
Oh,
like,
me? Man,
yeah.
please, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
If
That,
I
that
can
that's what I'm
feel
saying.
how my parents handle me in my little mischievous ways, my parents would be locked up right now, bro.
Yo,
They'd
that's
be
what I'm
in jail
saying.
right
But
now, bro.
don't
I'm
you?
just being 100 with you. My parents would be locked up right now, bro.
Yo, that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's some that's some ancient coonery shit, bro. Like they don't.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Yeah,
you can't beat something into a kid, yo.
man,
If he really want to do
that's
what
the
he
wrong part.
want to do, if he really want to do what he want to do, like you said, your sons, they gonna do what they want to do. But abusing, you know what I'm saying? Abusing a person, that's still not gonna make them do what they want to do, yo. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
you
saying?
can't beat a child into submission, bro.
Nah, you can't. Like, it ain't gonna make no sense because I'm telling you, I got plenty ass whippings.
And what happened?
That look though, this is the
What?
thing,
Hey,
and
Big
I
Bud, hold on.
still,
You got plenty of whippings, but what happened? It ain't changed
I
you.
still did what I wanted to do. I'm telling you, I still
Right.
did what I wanted to do, bruh.
Right.
I
Right.
still, at the end of the day, I am who I am because I wanted to be who I was. And I got plenty of ass whippings. I ain't gonna say I ain't got no, I got plenty of them. Cause you know what I'm saying? I got plenty of them. You know what I mean? But it was like, what's the point, mama? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do me.
Well,
Person is gonna do them, yo.
yeah,
You know what I'm
like I
saying?
said,
So me beating my sons half the time is like, bro, you know, cause I need you to listen and respect what I'm saying, so you can
right.
be a better man when you get of age. You know what I'm saying?
So
Because I'm not gonna be.
how do you discipline your boys right now at this at their current age, or if you want to go back a couple of years ago, but you know how do you?
I
Well,
I
you
I
got four
I done
boys,
I
right?
done
All different
I
ages.
done you know
You know?
I done did some old coonery
You
to
had
you
to,
know to
right,
I done did some things that I'm not proud of myself for, but
right.
they know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Look,
But
look,
I
look,
had to
bro.
get out of that. I had to get
Right.
out of that. You know what I'm saying?
How
Like
did you do that?
the same thing you just said, yo. You had to realize they little people.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like I had
right.
to earn their respect. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying? Like I had to earn
okay.
their respect and like, okay, you know, like the beating and everything, you know, not beating for nothing, but you know you did wrong.
Right,
But it's
right,
just like, come on, dog. Like, yo, is that what you gonna do? What you want to do? Cause this ain't
right,
gonna, you ain't gonna get nowhere doing this.
right,
You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
so when you start talking like you got some authority and you really serious, they kind of respect you more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You ain't got to do all that violent shit. You know what I'm saying?
So,
Like once they respect the man behind the words.
right.
I don't even have to look at them cats no more. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
know what? I got a question for you, but again, for the parents that's out there that's listening to it, they probably like, what? Earn the respect from your kids.
man,
Again,
it's
you know,
see
something
it's
that we talked about at the top of the hour is that you know, our kids are people. Our kids are little people. They may be little people with a level of ignorance when it comes to life, not knowing things, but at the same time, they have feelings, you know, they have dreams, they have desires, you know, they're curious just like us as an adult. So I think, you know, through this conversation, me and Big Ann is on the same page when it comes to, you know, how we handle our kids when it comes to correction. And
right.
you mentioned you got out of, you know, uh, whooping their behind, and you had to earn their respect. Can you give me like one or two things of what you did to, you know, to earn their respect, quote unquote? Obviously we pay bills and we put food on the table
Yeah,
and
I
on
know
back,
what you're
you know
saying.
what I'm saying? But
I
you
know
know,
what you I know what you're
a
saying.
different conversation, right? So give
It's
me one or two things.
I could tell you like this, like designer clothes, name brand clothes,
Right.
stuff like that. I started like, okay, I know what y'all like.
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
ain't getting it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Oh, you
Right.
like the video game? You got because I was one of them parents because I was stuck in the old coonery. I was one of them parents. My kid
Right.
had to have the latest game. Oh,
Right.
got to get the latest shoes. Got to get the late, and they don't care. They don't
Right.
care. You know what I'm saying? They break it. They do whatever because they ain't paid. They don't know the hurt behind the money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They just do
Okay.
whatever they
Okay.
want to do with it.
The
And it's
hurt
like,
behind.
what?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I don't care nothing about none of that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And when
Mm-hmm.
they start wearing shit from Walmart and you know what I'm saying, and getting
Right.
stuff when I felt like getting it,
Right.
they knew it was real. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I ain't gonna have no Nike sweatsuit.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna rock them new Jordans. I ain't. He daddy ain't playing. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like,
Oh,
man, don't man, no, like, no, you gonna wear that what you got on for months. If you ain't gonna take out this trash, you ain't gonna clean your room. You ain't gonna do. Look, all right, Jack, I got you. When your shirt starts shrinking and they get too tight, Don't come looking at me, B. Don't be asking me for no new clothes.
Right.
Don't be doing none of that. You feel me?
You start taking away some of those favorite things and those things.
Materialistic. Materialistic stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about, when you used to, handle them differently. That fell under the umbrella of coonery, right? So when we talk about, because you kind of mentioned it earlier, you talking about, the older, the generation before us and our generation, and how we handle the next generation under coonery. What comes to mind, and when it comes to their behavior dealing with, our generation, and then our generation dealing with the next generation, and that culture trader,
Yo, that's the biggest thing. Biggest thing I want to have this conversation, cuz True Bill. What you saying is just basically it, yo. Like you'll have a father, he could be in the house, but if he ain't loving his kids, he ain't, you know what I mean? He ain't spending time with them.
Mm-hmm.
He just think he can go to work, come home, complain, and go to bed and wake up and do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why your son out in the street. You know what I'm saying? That's what's getting ready to happen to your homeboy and them. You know what I'm saying? And then if something happened to him, or if he get locked up, anything, you know what I'm saying, get in some trouble, then it's like, oh, my boy, why he into this? Why he doing that? Because you pay bills and you just give him money, and you give him some food to eat, and that's the only thing you know about your son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and daughter too. You know what I'm saying? But that's the only thing you know about your kid, and whatever, you pick them up on the weekends or something like that. You don't really know your kid. You feel me? Like you got to spend time. Since my first one, I've been on the ground, cuz that's what I'm saying. Like, I believe in mentors. I believe if you ain't got no father figure, father, grandfather, uncles, some cats that you can really get with and politic with, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. But I'm talking for the one that ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of cats out here, even older, man, that don't talk to their fathers and stuff like that because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I call it coonery, because you're a cat like that will just think like, well, my son turned out like that because he wanted to be. Nah, nigga, you ain't give him no direction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you paid the bill, you gave him some Jordans on Easter, or you brought him some clothes for Christmas and shit.
Right.
But you don't know him for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know him. So if he end up in some trouble or something, you can't blame it. You blame it on yourself. You know what I'm saying? If he end up in some difficult situation, that the blame is on you, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just try to say, well, we did this back in my day and y'all shouldn't be doing it because y'all know the rules or whatever the fact. Cause you gotta be, like you said, like I sent you that video, like yo, you gotta be the person that's leading by example. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta be leading by example on that shit.
Let me ask you this. Because you talked about the generation before us, the way they used to talk to us. Now, before I throw my little 2 cents in there, how do our generation not fall in that bracket where we become culture traders, right? You call it coonery, or how do we avoid falling to that place where, like you said earlier, back in my day, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, how do you think that conversation should go?
I'm gonna tell you first thing, yo, tell your kids you love them, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what they do, I mean, before they get into older age where you really can't do no control, but man, while they young, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, let them know that you love them. You know what I'm saying? That you really, really love them, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Big Ant, hold up for a second. Do me a favor. I need you to talk to the men about telling their kids that they love them. And I don't mean when they babies. I mean, like...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo,
I need you to talk to them right now because, that's not something I heard often when I was growing up.
Right.
Either one.
That's
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
my point.
And
That's
that's
my
something
whole.
right. And that's something I done with my sons, you know, my daughters. Like I would tell them I love them, you know, no matter how old they are. I would tell them you still
Nah,
love me, that,
no
the other.
matter what,
You know what I'm saying?
man.
No
No
matter what.
matter
So do
what.
me a favor, just take a few minutes, just talk to the men about because your boys are younger. My boys are older now. My boys are in their early 20s. So, but you know, you have multiple ages. So they're in that prime real estate
Right.
development stage in their life. And, you know, just talk to the men about what kind of reaction you get from your sons when you show that level of sensitivity to them right now.
Man, look, man. It's so different. It's so different with mine, you know what I'm saying? Because I started being, you know what I'm saying? It's cliche to say like being a friend, but you
Right,
know what I'm saying? I'm their homeboy. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like I'm really that though. You know what I'm saying? Like I
right,
know what my kids like to wear. We laugh and joke all day. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
we make food together. You know what I'm saying? Like we make dinner for you know what I'm saying? We make dinner
Yeah,
for the family together. You know what I'm saying? I don't just like come down and be like dinner ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
right,
cuz I be like, cuz get the meat out the refrigerator. Cuz you get the cheese out the refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
we get ready to do this, you know what I'm saying? We get ready to do this together, a collaboration. You know what I'm saying? We gonna make dinner
right,
together, my nigga. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like
right.
you gotta love them. You gotta love them in that way where you think that they comfortable in every atmosphere that you in, yo. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
that's good,
Like
right?
my sons, they're not scared of me just because of simple reason because they know I excuse my language, I fucks with them. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like they come through the door like, "What's up, Pop?" and give me that.
right,
I love you. I love you. You can go to the bathroom, nigga. I love you. You heard me?
right,
You know what
right,
I'm
right,
saying? Like
right,
it's like that because it's nothing to us. You know what I'm saying?
right.
I didn't grow up with that. Wasn't a word like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You just supposed to
it
know.
wasn't.
You
It
just
wasn't.
supposed to know a nigga love you.
Right.
And who made up that shit?
Look,
Who?
look, big ant. You supposed to know because I put clothes in your back, roof over your head,
Nah,
and food on the
nah,
table.
cuz
You
that shit
supposed
don't
to
work.
know that was how we was brought up. That's real
That's
talk,
old
right?
coonery. That's old coonery, bro. That's old coon. That's what I was trying to explain.
Right,
That's what I was trying to explain. We
right,
talking about it, but that's what I was
right,
trying to explain.
right.
That's like that type stuff that led down from generations.
Yeah,
That is old coonery now, yo. It's like, yo, you can't treat your kids like that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like
So
you can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
We the generation that gotta stop that. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? We gotta let
mm,
our kids be who they want to be. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Because I want to see what you're gonna become, but I'm gonna help you all the way. You feel me?
right,
Like
right,
I'm right there. I don't have no like that. That's like if my sons got some money or they got rich or something. Well, I know I'm taken care of, bro. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like
right,
I see old coons, they still talking about their sons. Like, man, my son, we don't talk. Oh, my son, he crazy. My son, he locked up. My son, he don't even speak to me and let me see my grandkids. Cause I'm not having that. You
right,
heard me? Like
right,
mines and me and mines, I'm not having that. I'm coming over your house, dog. I'm making sure my grandkids,
right,
I'm making
right,
sure my
right,
grandkids straight. If
right.
your baby mama say something wrong about you ain't taking care of your kid, we gonna have a problem, my man. You know
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying? Like I wouldn't if you couldn't breathe if your baby mom called me like, oh, he just run the street. He popping bottles at the club. Whoop de whoop de whoop.
No,
Man, I'm in the club and my son would really like, yeah, he crazy like that. Yeah, that's my dad. You know what I'm
right,
saying? That
right,
nigga 60
right,
something, he's 60 something years old. He coming up in the club like, where my son at, man? Like,
right.
get up
Okay.
out of here. You know what
Uh-huh.
I'm saying? Like, ain't no way. You feel me? Like, because I'm
Mhm.
hands on. I'm hands on all day 24/7, yo. I'm tapped in. I'm tapped in with my sons. You feel me?
Good. That's good, man.
Like it ain't no way around it because the simple fact that I want to break that generation of coonery. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
General.
That's my point.
All right, so look, in Proverbs 22:6, it says this: teach your youth about the ways that he should go, and even when they get older, they will not depart from that. You know, in the church, we use that scripture when we talk about raising our kids. But I think, you know, what I've discovered and witnessed in slight conversations, you know, that scripture, people don't look at that first word, and it says teach.
Right.
It says teach. It don't say raise. It says
Right.
teach the kids, right?
Right.
So what we talked about, what we mentioned earlier about our kids should know that we love them because we provide food,
Right.
clothes, and shelter. That's
Right.
what that means. That's the opposite of the scripture. Like, that's the scripture saying teach. That means what we're talking about now, far as, you know, that old way of handling our kids and that old way of telling or expressing our love for our kids only when they do right or
Right.
by these material things. We're talking about teaching our kids how to love themselves, teaching our
Right.
kids how to love back one another
Right. Right.
verbally. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Yeah.
that scripture is saying that we should teach our kids how to conduct ourselves, not only be an example of what we want to invest in them, but also invest in them by words as well. Because teaching is just not a verbal communication, you know, or
Right.
an example. It's both together. It's both
Right.
together. And the scripture says that they should not depart. That the end of the scripture doesn't, it's not saying that they're not going to do bad things. It's not
Right.
saying that they're not going to go off and do something that you don't like. What that scripture is saying is, no matter what they do, what you put into them
Right.
is going to remind them about their behavior. It may even
Exactly.
give them cause to pause before they do something outside of what
Exactly.
you have taught them, through verbally or by example. So that scripture is telling
Right.
us to teach our kids both ways, and it shall not depart from them. Meaning, it's never going to leave them, no matter what they do. You know, when they do something dumb, or, you know, when they do something dumb
Right.
that cause them to go to jail, you know, the first thing they're going to do when they get in that jail cell, they're going to hear your voice saying, da, 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 da,
Exactly.
da, da, da. It didn't depart from them.
Exactly.
It didn't depart from them. So I wanted
Exactly.
to bring that scripture up because, you know, I know we got
That's
church folk
hard.
here and we got street folks
That's
out
hard
here.
though.
I
Yeah,
want to
that's
make sure that
hard though,
scripture
cuz.
says,
That's
what's
hard
that?
though. You heard
What's
me.
hard?
That's hard though. I got you gotta send me that. You gotta send me that. That's hard though. I like
I
that.
got
I
you.
like
I
that.
got you.
I was gonna ask you, did you have a verse for that for me? I like that. I
Oh
like
man,
that.
I got verses for days, bro. I got
And come
66
with it.
books.
Come, I'm
I
with
can't.
it.
I ain't
I'm
gonna
with
run
it.
out of
I'm with
nothing.
it. I like
Trust
that
me.
because that's what we talking about. Then
So
you gotta
that's
teach. You gotta teach the reach. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
right,
teach the reach. If you
right.
ain't teaching, you an old coon. That's all I'm saying.
Where
That's
that's
all I'm
Proverbs
saying. Cause you can't.
26, you guys that don't know. So, you know, read that scripture, man, and digest it. Don't just read it and make assumptions. Take that scripture and really break that thing down and look at it and look at the words and what the writer is saying to you, because that's oftentimes when we read any book, particularly the Bible, we come in with our own conclusions rather than coming in with an empty mind, an empty space for God to be able to speak to our hearts and speak to our mind. You can't come in there with conclusion. You got to come in
Right.
there empty. You got to come in there
Right.
like, whatever I do know, I'm throwing it out the window
Right.
because I want you to tell me everything I need to know. You feel me?
Tell them what it is again.
That's Proverbs 22:6. And the scripture goes, teach your youth about the ways he should go. And even when he gets older, he will not depart from it. He will not depart from
That's
it. So
hard.
read that, digest that, man.
That's hard. You got text that to me when you get off. You text
Absolutely,
out and remember it.
absolutely.
Yeah. But
So
that's hard though.
when we talk about you know, the coonery, far as the next generation, what are some of the things that, from your vantage point, you know, that we can do to make room for the next generation, for them to be themselves? Because, you know, this generation is a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, especially with the way the culture is, let me say, evolving, for as how it looks at individuals. You know, they're getting
Right.
to choose who they are, what they
Right.
are, you know, and I
Right.
don't want to get too political and all of that good stuff in there, but just real quick, we gotta wrap it up. What's your thoughts about how do we make space for those guys to be themselves?
Man, you gotta be you gotta listen to them though. You know what I'm saying? You gotta listen to them and know what they really like to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like you know what I'm saying? Like your kid could be into art, but if you pushing them into baseball or sports, he'll never be. You'll know he never be. He might be a great artist. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
what you gonna do? Push him into baseball? Something he really don't like.
right.
Then after a minute, you know what I'm saying? After a second or two, whatever, he gonna
Mhm.
quit, and he not gonna be his real self ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. So you gotta listen to him. What he wanna do. You know what I'm saying? My son told me he wanna be a chef. Man. Look, we got we got fucking cook kits. We done brought. Man, I done brought him a whole old kitchen other than the kitchen we got. Cause he said he
I know
want to
that's right.
cook. Cause you want to cook, let do. You know what I'm
I'm with
saying?
100. My son's the same way. I ain't force them to do nothing. I want them to love it. You know, when they told me they loved it, I was 100% in it as much as they was 100% in it. When they was like, all
That's
right, Dad,
right.
I don't want to do no more, I'm out of it. I think that is such an essential tool for any parent to use. You know, I read a quote a while ago. No, actually, I heard someone say this. They said if your retirement plan is based upon your kids' prosperity, you got a poor retirement plan.
Yeah, you know what I'm
You got a
saying?
poor retirement plan. You know
Nah,
what I'm saying? And that was real talk.
nah.
So we're about to wrap this up, man. Thank y'all so much. But I want to leave y'all with a word real quick, and I'm gonna give it to you, and then we're gonna close out. And this has come from Psalms 33 and 11, and it says, "The counsel of the Lord stands forever; the plans of His heart from generation to generation." Again, that's Psalms 33 and 11. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, forever. The plans of His heart from generation to generation. And that's what we're talking about now this evening. We're talking about from one generation to another generation, how we can make sure that we hear the hearts of our sons and daughters, nieces and nephews, mentees, you know, neighborhood kids, that we make space for them and not, you know, put them under the umbrella that we grew up in, rather than using that wisdom to rain down on them, So, you know, Big Ant, you got any closing words, man, before we get out of here?
Hey
Oh,
man,
I saw them
I'm just
t-shirts,
going.
man. You gotta put the prices up for them t-shirts. I'm sure some people want to cop them.
Okay.
We want y'all to cop them. We want y'all to give us some support out here. You know, we just
Yeah.
two regular brothers just trying to make a difference in this big world.
Hey, what's up? First of all, I want one of my homies on here. I want to say what's up to him, man. Goddamn. I've been promoting it all week, trying to,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Cause I've been just, man, I text like everybody in my phone, the preacher and the gangster, cause they've been hitting me back like, cuz I love that shit. Yo, cuz you talking about, I can show you Texas. You heard me,
Good, man.
like,
That's what we
they
doing, man.
texting me.
That's what we doing, man. And
Yeah.
like I told you before, I give you all the props, man, because when we seen each other, you was like, man, we need to talk. We chopped it up, and I say? I said, man, that's some real stuff. I mean, I
Hey
love the
yo, and
idea.
you know what made me really go out of space though? When
That
your wife came to me and she was like, yo, you know, I'm getting my food. I'm like, man, I'm hungry as shit. I'm like, she came up to me like, appreciating the gangster. I say, ooh.
yeah,
I
man,
said,
that's
that's hard.
that's good. And you know the
The
one
way,
thing I love.
she said it like she was a fan already. Like, I was like, damn, she know what's already. We ain't even did one episode. You heard me?
Hey,
Like,
man, that's my number one fan, man. My number one fan for 20 years, bro. We go
hey,
way
I
back.
can dig it,
Yeah,
y'all. I
we
can
go way
dig it. I can
back.
dig it.
Man, we'll have to
Hey,
talk about
Landy
it
on
sometime.
here. What's up? What's up,
My
Landy?
ride
Love
or
you
die.
too, babe.
That's my ride or die. That's my ride or die,
You
bro. We
heard
go.
you heard me, cuz Landy on
Yeah.
here.
Oh, for real? What's up,
Yeah.
fam?
She on here. I told a lot of
Yeah.
people, yo. I
all good.
texted. I text probably like 200 people, yo. Like,
That's good.
I said, man,
But
you gotta
hey,
watch this, man.
before we get shut off, man. What's up with the
Nah,
t-shirt?
we got some
You
time.
got a price for them yet?
Huh?
You got a price
$10,
for them
yo.
yet?
$10.
Huh? $10.
$10
All right.
for the tees.
Okay. All right. So
$10 for the
keep pushing
tees,
them.
man.
You
Yeah.
gotta get hoodies, man, and you know what I mean. Like,
We coming with the
so
hoodies. I gotta send you something though. You gotta send me your info.
No. Let me pay for mine. I'm gonna pay for mine.
But no,
Don't
I'm
send
saying
me
you got, man. I ain't worrying about that though. But we got that coming. We just building. We building.
I want to
You heard
invest,
me?
bro. I
Like we
want to
building.
invest.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like it ain't no it. Yo, people like me and you said when we said like yo, people been needing this talk. Like
Right.
when I talked to, I done sent it to my OG homies. They like, yo, damn, boy, you was talking, y'all was talking. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man. It's all about, man.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like yo, they
today's
was
topic,
talking.
man. We're not trying to be. We're not trying to fall in that coonery, man. We're not trying to
Yeah,
be.
we're not trying to be fake or phony.
You know what I mean?
You
We
know
ain't
what
trying
I'm
to be culture
saying?
traders, man. So
Yeah,
again,
you know what I'm
tell you,
saying?
bro, I love you, man. I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
love you, babe.
You always a real one. You know what I'm saying? You never have to apologize for what you say and who you are. You know, just continue being you, man. And that's why I love you so much. And we go way back. When you
We go way back. Way back. You know what I'm saying?
But we go way back.
Way back, cuz go way back. That's why when you might think I ain't thinking about you, cuz I always got you on my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when I seen you, when I seen you see how it was like we ain't seen it, like we seen each other yesterday. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what's up, cuz? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. So you ain't, yo, you don't have to treat your peoples like that, bro. When a motherfucker know it's love, they know it's love. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you can see them 20 years later, niggas like, yo, that he had love for me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely, man, I love you, bro. I love you. We're gonna talk during this week, man.
Yeah. Holla at you.
You know, hey, everyone that's out there, man, we appreciate the love. We appreciate the follows. We appreciate the comments. You know, go out there and cop these t-shirts, man. This is not for our wealth. It's for our community wealth. It's for us to do bigger things with this platform so we can, you know, do our small part to change the world. Like I said before, if we change one person's idea or mindset about something, for me, all glory goes to God. And I know, Big Ant, you know, you're not a deep religious person, but I know you love God. So, and I appreciate that as well, man. And you ain't ashamed of it. So we can ready to sign off. Again, this episode will be on a YouTube channel probably within 72 hours. So if you want to go back and watch the whole thing, please go back on there, watch the whole thing. Comments, like, share, all that good stuff, man. We need y'all support just as much as we are trying to support our community.
Yeah, every Friday at 8. Don't be late.
Don't be late.
You heard me.
All right, bro. I'm signing off, man. I love you, bro.
All right, cuz. Love you. I'll holla at you.